Welcome back to the channel. We got another one for you, but this time it's different. We're not talking about no tenant. We're not talking about traveling. We're talking about something completely different. I think what really sparked it, I saw a comment that asked about like, hey, well, you guys have properties, so what does that have to do with a struggle with you guys? I think I saw a comment on that, and I was like, hmm. So today we're gonna tell y'all a good story about what's really going on, because everybody has these struggles, including us. So you want to start them off from
Yeah,
your end?
yeah. So, like T mentioned, this is going to be a different type of video. This is us being very vulnerable, being very real, and for obvious reasons, we couldn't release this earlier, but we lost our jobs. T in 2024, and mine a week ago. And it has definitely hit us very, very hard despite having properties, and we'll get into that um, later on in the video. But it, it's a really difficult time for us, and the reason why we're putting out this video is because I don't think that this is talked about enough. We're a dual income household. Well, used to be a dual income household, and when one income goes, it's not okay, but at least there's still income. But when both, I mean, it, like, what do you do? What do you do? You can't compare. It's it's just not. It's obviously very difficult for me in this video, but I'll let T start off with what happened
So
with him.
myself, I served in the military, did my time in the military, and when I got out, was done with serving, I ended up being working for the government. And I'm not sure if everybody's tracking, but the government downsized. They just did a reduction, and a lot of people lost their jobs. Go check out my channel. You just put in Philosopher T Lee. You will find it. I talk about it. I have some videos on it about the VA making adjustments along with the government employees losing their job. And it's over 75,000 have no longer there right now. So this kind of been in the works, and like I said, because it affected me. It affected me. I was a government employee, so that's it's never safe for anyone out here. That's the thing. Nobody's safe no matter what you do. Everybody's basically an employee at will when you're working for someone. So
And a part that T is leaving out, that's been since how long?
that happened last year. So that's why I said it's been in the works, and that's why when you look at it as okay, so you have properties. That's what someone was saying. You have properties, but that's why we talk about they have to get paid in order for us to pay our mortgage. We need the people staying there, the tenants, to pay us the rent. Everybody has to pay somebody, and when a payment doesn't happen, where's the money supposed to come from for you to pay it? You're supposed to deplete your savings. And another thing too is like this is just because this is tax time, we don't get tax money like people do. We have to pay all the time, and every time we pay taxes, always over $20,000 that
20,000.
we always have to pay. I mean, these are things that people don't think about, and that's why I was breaking it down. And in the comments on one person on that house alone is it's a HOA. The HOA over there is, I want to say it's about, how much is it?
It's
Hundred and
a hundred and something,
hundred
almost
something dollars. We have
$1,300 a year.
we have CDD. Some places don't have it, but in Florida, a lot of places have CDD. That CDD is over $3,000. I mean, over $300. I said 3,000. Ooh, I wouldn't do that. Over
Yeah.
$300 a month. Then of course you got taxes. Taxes are almost 10 grand. I
Yeah.
mean, then you have insurance. Insurance costs an arm and leg because we keep having all these storms in Florida, and every time you turn around, you have insurance companies that pull out. Heck, we lost
We
an
lost
insurance company. Like
last year.
we had three different insurance companies because people keep pulling out of Florida, and then the ones that are here spike the prices. So everything costs, and so imagine this happening with more than one property because we have multiple properties.
Yeah. And just to continue on, as he mentioned, this he was he lost his job in the early part of 2024. So now we're talking about one income having to really just make sure that all three properties are up and running at any given time. Now, while it sounds good that okay, well, you get the rent for one and you make a profit, we can't spend that money because you don't know what in the world can happen. And look what just happened just now. We'll put a link to the whole playlist of everything that happened, but the gist of it was a tenant. We took her through the eviction process and we won, thankfully, but it cost over $30,000 in damages. Where are we gonna get that money from?
Not to mention, people don't understand other costs associated with it. When your place is damaged from Section 8 and an inspection happens, unfortunately, guys, they're gonna cut you. Yep, they're gonna stop that income.
Yeah,
No matter, and they don't view it as. Well, I know here they don't view it as whose fault it is. They just look at it as it's there.
and
Even
it's the
though
landlord's fault.
everything is like the landlord's fault here. Even with things being in the lease, even with going to court and it's proven whose fault it was because of who gets the judgment. It's still, oh, well, we don't care whose fault it is. That needs to get fixed. So we didn't put holes in the wall. We didn't even live there. We didn't break all this stuff. That we didn't live there.
Despite having that she has to have mold remediation in the lease, we still have to do it. Section 8 wouldn't release payment. And that's just that. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to fix it because then now we're in another world of trouble. And in addition to that, there was multiple HOA violations and that caused all different type of fees, and then we had to. It was just a big mess with that one property, and another property that we had. There was a little bit of a profit, and I say little, very, very little. I wouldn't even. It was probably like how much, like $200 profit off of that property. Once again, you can't spend that money. It has to stay in there for contingencies and all that other stuff. That bill, that tax bill went from $500 to $7,000, over $7,000. So you already know the escrow, it was a huge shortage. We had to fund that. Not only that came at a time when I lost my job. So we have the money that we have our savings, and of course, no one knows when they're just gonna get laid off. I mean, it just happens. And I don't know if we mentioned this before, but I worked in tech. I got laid off from tech, if you want to put it into perspective. And while a lot of people think that you make a lot of money in tech, you do make a lot of money, but you also pay a lot of taxes also when you make a lot of that money. And a lot of different things had to happen. Like, I mean, it, like, just to be real, we didn't know if we should pay it. Now, obviously, we know we need to pay it because it's gonna get paid regardless. But it takes away from the overall money that we have in the pot. It's only so much money. If nothing's coming in, but everything's going out, how are we supposed to afford this? We put these videos out here just so people can see a different perspective on it. We're not out here trying to say, oh, well, you should just become a landlord and this and that and sell everybody a pipe dream. We ain't them type of people. If you come to this channel, you're going to get the real, the raw, and just exactly how it is. This is hard. It really is.
The thing with landlording, when a lot of people have this thing in their head where landlords are rich. They think, oh, landlords just sit back and collect the check. A lot of them people, when you go to an apartment complex or any type of thing that's owned by major corporations, you don't treat them the same way that you treat landlords. I mean, those corporations don't even do an inspection on the place. And when you miss a payment or any little thing happens, you're gone just like that. And then it's right there on your record with quick. But people aren't putting holes in the wall, calling this excessive damage or anything to these major corporations. But yeah, when it comes to landlords, it's always this idea, and oh, my landlord won't do this. Like, landlord's supposed to jump and just do every single thing right in the spot. It's supposed to just worship you, call you every week or something. Like, come on, with normal people, everybody's out here trying to survive. And like I said, with those major corporations, they have all this insurance and everything. They're backed and they're well established. But landlords are heavily funded, and landlords are, most of us, just your normal everyday people. And we do it. We rent our places out, hoping that we get someone good, because a lot of times you can't fully read everybody. People smile in your face, put on a great act, then get in completely different. So you do this because you again, it should be understand, hey, we regular people. Hey, this is all we're asking for, XYZ. And that's why I don't even try to beat nobody over the head with anything. And like I said, when it comes to them, it's just a big misunderstanding about landlords. And it's like people always want to put a lot of pressure on landlords, but they don't do none of that when it comes to any of these other housing complexes or anything.
You can't just assume that just because people come online and say they have all these things, that it, like, they're rich or they just have a lot of money. There are costs with everything. And even besides the homes, we still have to live. Like, this is a real serious issue. Now, it's our issue, but I know there has to be somebody out there that is going through it. Whether you don't even have to be a landlord, you don't even have to have properties, you could be a renter. It doesn't really matter. The problem is when you had a source of income and something was coming in, and now it's no longer doing that, and you have everything going out. What are we supposed to do? Not to mention, we just released another video, I believe a few days ago, talking about we can't get any assistance. They look at all our properties. They look at all that.
But yeah, you see, that's why we did that other video about the TikToker. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go check it out. The thing about situations like that is they're getting all these benefits for free, yet they're making a load of money off of content. And just like you have a lot of videos, people will come up here, on YouTube and say, look how I'm living. I'm poor, living in the projects. Look at how my landlord got my house, and then everything. All of a sudden, everybody's sending $10, $20, $15, $50. All of it adds up, and next thing you know, they'll put out a video. Yeah, I'm living in luxury. Oh, I just bought this car. Thank y'all, but I still need this. I'm still struggling with this, and people just give and give and give. Look at our stuff. We don't get nothing. It's like
Nothing.
we don't
This
get
channel
anything.
is not monetized despite having almost 1,500 subscribers. We are not monetized. We seriously put out these videos because we really want to put out videos and inform the public of what we're doing and just everything about what's going on in our life.
Awareness and to bring people together. We want to unite people because, like I said, is this misconception about landlords? It needs unification, so everybody understands what's going on and how it is, and that's why also we do have something coming up with actually someone that's that commented on the channel. So that should be coming up soon because someone was willing to show their story and what they're going through. So we should definitely be working on that pretty shortly.
Yeah. So at this time, I know people are getting laid off left and right. I know if you've been keeping up with the news or whatever, the social media, it doesn't really matter, but people are getting laid off left and right. I think the best thing to do right now is just to don't be negative to people. People are really going through it right now. Us, you just heard our story. You could sit here and you could calculate, yes, we are struggling tremendously. And we are definitely going through it. But like T said, we do this so for unification. If we can bring people together and if they can feel inspired by our story, then it was worth putting out the video. So I hope this video does help somebody. And just don't give up. I mean, we're not giving up even though like this happened. I mean, we have to move forward. We have to make very strategic decisions right now. We don't know what the game plan is because obviously this is very new, but there has to be something done.
And one more thing too, with going back, make sure you go check out my videos on Philosopher T. Lee. Check out my channel because part of the layoffs with the government, the VA laid off some of the workers on the crisis line, and suicides are already high. So now you cut people that on the crisis line. That's going to be extremely tough. So make sure please just show support, to everybody out here. You never know what anybody's going through, and that's what gets me to about even just like family situations. You never know what anybody go. Just reach out to people, check on each other. That's all I'm saying. Don't let weeks go by and oh I'm feeling this way so I can't call this person or text this person. Just check on people because you don't know how the other person is feeling.
And we're gonna end it here, y'all, because we're not gonna beat a dead horse. But just like many others, thousands of people, we lost our job too. And hopefully the next video that we put out is a little bit more uplifting than this one. But if you did find this video helpful, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll definitely appreciate it. Peace out.